Hi there, I'm Natasha. This is my channel, Always Be Crafting. Welcome or welcome back. Today is Monday, January 27th, and on Mondays I like to do something called Making Monday. So, what am I making? Well, I am going to be making, I'm adapting, I guess, a pin board. So, a while back I had purchased this inexpensive cardboard and foam and felt pin board or bulletin board, I guess, at the Dollar Tree. So $1.25 for this, but I love this color felt. And the negative part is you can see it's not very well made for $1.25. What do you expect? And when you put the pins in, because it's thick, you can't, put the backs on the pins. So sometimes, I worry about losing the backs. Like I think I've already lost the backs of these two pins right here. And B, there's what happens if this thing fell? All the pins would just fall off. So I've watched a lot of other YouTubers, a lot of other makers who have used embroidery hoops. I've got a ton of embroidery hoops. I've had this pink embroidery hoop in my stash, gosh, maybe 15 years. Like, seriously. So I think probably 15 years ago, I had done a craft project making drums out of embroidery hoops. And I don't even know if I have the fabric anymore, but I had purchased this special canoe fabric that when you heated it up, it shrunk, just tightened up. So what we would do is we would put the canoe fabric through the embroidery hoop, get it really, really, really tight. And then we would use like a heat gun and heat it up so it would get really tight. So then it became a drum. And it was great because you could draw on it with Sharpies and we let our kids go crazy and we made homemade drums and it was fun. And then I also used these embroidery hoops. I don't embroider, which is funny. I use embroidery hoops for everything but their intended purposes. I also use these embroidery hoops for screen printing because you can take like nylons, like nylons that you wear on your legs, stockings, and stretch them over the hoop. And then using glue or some kind of resist, you can create images, right onto the nylon. Once that's dry, you can put it down on your project and use it as a screen press kind of thing, you wiping the ink across. It was a lot of fun. We had so much fun. So I've had tons of hoops in my stash, wooden ones and plastic ones in my stash for years, but I want to say that the plastic ones came into my stash about 15 years ago. So it's just been sitting there collecting dust. And I thought, it's such a pretty color. And I actually really like this color blue. It's like almost exactly like my logo color for my Always Be Crafting. It's so silly. But it's one of my favorite colors. I always tell people my favorite colors are purple and green, but there's like this very special space in my heart for all things turquoise and aqua. I think it like goes back to my childhood. There's that range of colors, turquoise, aqua, periwinkle, these blues and purples, and just a little bit of green right there, these cool tones that were very in fashion in the 80s when I was growing up, and they just speak to my heart. And anytime I see anything in like turquoises and aquas, I buy them. Like I have to have them. And there's turquoise and aqua all around me as I say this, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Like the bags from Missouri Star to organize my fat quarters. Okay, they're over there. Hold on, can I turn the camera? Of course I can turn the camera. See? Turquoise. I mean, look how much turquoise is in my fabric collection. Like as I'm speaking, I'm looking on my table in front of me and there's a turquoise little canister just with embroidery floss, because again, I don't embroider. I think I was mending, doing one of those visible mending things. There's a turquoise garbage can over there. There's, you know, there's just turquoise. There's a little bit of turquoise webbing. It's just one of those colors I love. Even my tissue box over on the other side is turquoise. I just love it. I think the only reason I bought the Tula Pink iron is because it had these, like everyone buys it for the pink. I bought it for the turquoise. I just love it. I love it. Anyways, so I want to keep this color as my pin board, but I think, ooh, I just put the camera right over my embroidery hoop. Sorry. I think that I can make it work. So I'm going to take it apart and I'm going to reuse this. It's very inexpensive. So if it falls apart, it falls apart. But if I can reuse this very inexpensive felt and stretch it onto my 15-year-old embroidery hoop, then I'm going to. And then I'm going to put pins, these 3, plus I have a whole bunch more pins just hanging around in other places. And I'm going to, you know, put them together. And to see where my calendar is right there, that's going to be where I hang my hoop with all my enamel pins that I love so much. So that's what I'm making. Can I show you what I made on Saturday? If you already watched it, you saw mostly what I did, but I made the little chonky from Okla Roots. I made on my video on Saturday, on Saturdays I sew, I made one, and then yesterday I made another. So I have 2 chonkies, 2 little chunkies, and they are so cute. Look at these. So obviously if I'm going to cut one, I might as well cut 2. And I wasn't sure which I would like better, whether doing the cotton interfacing, or excuse me, lining, or the waterproof canvas. This is what I will say. The cotton was so much easier for my hands. I have a thumb issue. I have a trick, what's it called? Not a trick thumb. There's a term, I'm not remembering what it is, but I basically have a thumb that sometimes doesn't want to work. And in the morning, it does not want to work. And when I was working on these bags, when I did the waterproof canvas yesterday, my thumb did not want to turn everything out. And I was really sore. I had to ice my hand for a while, like a good 20 minutes before I could move on with anything else. And I still haven't stitched the hole in the lining. I think I might just glue it because my hand hurts. And just thinking about pulling the waterproof canvas out again, my WPC out again to stitch it. It sounds horrible for my poor hands. I chose not to do the binding. I just left the little triangle corners inside. Again, because I didn't want to turn it back out. I was like, no, I'm done. I'm done with you. You've hurt me too much. I might turn out the one with the cotton and bind those just to see if I like binding the little doohickey flappies, or if I care. The pattern is written where you could do either one. You could leave the little triangle things in for structure, or you can cut them off and bind the edges. The way Jess at Okla Roots has written the pattern, she's like, do whatever you want. Both ways are, you know, totally valid. And yeah, so these were all leftover fabrics. This was leftover vinyl from So Hungry Hippie. This was leftover nylon from Wonderground Fabrics. This was leftover cotton from the dog bag I made last weekend from Ruby Star Society, Sarah Watts, called Dog Park. And this was leftover waterproof canvas, also from Wonderground Fabrics. And the zippers and zipper pulls and little O-rings, these are things I had in my stash. So I just kind of went into my drawers, my new Alex drawers that I love so much. If you saw my Making Monday last Monday, I built my Alex cabinet from IKEA. And my top drawer is my zippers. So it's really nice to just kind of open my drawer, pull out my zippers. I don't have to go hunting in that cabinet of doom anymore. And actually this cabinet back here, the Alpha back there, is a lot more organized and I really love it. I don't feel very good. I had a really busy weekend. I worked, I did 2 birthday parties and Havdalah service on Saturday. And then I had 2 classes and I went to a show yesterday and my body, I haven't been sleeping well. I just feel really worn out. I was supposed to teach this morning and I didn't sleep all night. I can barely move. I felt sick to my stomach. I hope I'm not getting something. I hope I'm not coming down with something, but I just feel really rotten. So I'm just trying to take it easy today and take care of myself. So I figured, well, I'm home. I took a shower because I thought, okay, I'm going to go to work. But like, even after my shower, I was like, I do not feel good. My stomach is doing jumping jacks and tumbleweeds. So I am going to make my pin hoop thing. And that might be all I do today. I might just do that in laundry and take a nap. I'm not really sure, but thank you for being here. And I hope you enjoy watching me destroy this poor little $1.25 bulletin board. I will recycle whatever can be recycled and reuse anything that can be reused because I do not like adding to the landfill in this world. That's not what I like to do, which is probably the reason why my house is always such a mess because I keep everything. I keep everything. If it has, you know, like, look at this. This is such a small piece of strapping. Like, look, but I kept it because it can be used for something. I don't know what. But look, I probably could have used it on the chonkies. Look for the little tabs. So now I'm gonna have to make another chonky just so I could use this up. I'm crazy. Oh my God. This is what happens. I keep everything. Reduce, reuse, recycle, right? All right. Thank you. Enough blathering on from me. I'm gonna put this together. Let's go. Okay, I'm back. So that was about 1 minute for you, but it was actually a little bit more than an hour for me because I had to stop to start laundry and I had to make my lunch really quickly. So I was moving the glue. I was adding glue and then pinching down. Let me just grab the thing. Here, do you want to see it? There it is. I think it's actually really cute in that location. I like it. I like it there. Oh, am I off? We're fine. Okay. So here's the back. So as you can see, all the little pieces are pinched down. So after I had put the felt in the frame, then I pulled it really tight, tightened the screw, pulled it really tight, tightened the screw, pulled it really tight, tightened the screw. Then I folded down the excess fabric, traced it with a pen all the way around, then popped it up, cut along all those little marks I'd made, and then I cut into the fabric every inch or so I could fold it over and glue it down. And I used my silicone tipped clips to glue it down because the silicone wouldn't stick if glue got on the tips of the clips, you know, the tips of the clips. They're silicone, so it wouldn't stick. And yeah, and I had to kind of go around It would dry, go around, it would dry. It would, just take a few minutes in between, clipping each section. It would only take a couple minutes of drying time. But in between, sometimes I would let clips stay on in certain locations longer so I could go do something. So it didn't need to take an hour, but it did because, like I said, I wanted lunch. I wanted to do laundry. But I found a few more of my enamel pins, my badges, and I put them on. Plenty of room for more to come and be added. And I really like it. I think it's really cute. I didn't put every single pin I own on there. But I put a few that have been given to me from different sources or I've purchased over the years. Some have been given, some have been purchased, and I love them. I love them all. And as I discover more in my stash and as I receive more or purchase more, I will add them. And they will be happily decorating my space back there. So I think that's pretty much it for Making Monday. I know that wasn't the hardest craft ever done. I'm sure anyone watching this could have done it without any tutorial. Not that I really gave you a tutorial, but without any insights, I'm sure you could have done this. You could have just looked at an embroidery hoop, looked at a piece of felt, and figured out how to put them together. But in case you had never thought of it before, maybe you needed a little bit of inspiration. Sometimes that's all we need. Sometimes we just need to see an idea and maybe it'll lead to a different idea. Maybe this will inspire something completely different. Maybe me talking about making drums or silk screening with the embroidery hoop will elicit some other ideas. Whatever it is, I hope you're out there making something. And I think that is what keeps me going when the world can seem like a very dark and disappointing and sad place to be. Knowing that I can make things a little nicer, maybe they make things a little brighter, not just for myself, but for others. That's what keeps me going. My ability to create and transform and find the joy in the little things. That's what keeps me going. I hope it's helping you. And I hope you're finding your ways through as well. So have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. And I will see you on Saturday, which is the beginning of February. Finally, the longest January ever, right? Okay, so I'll see you on Saturday for On Saturdays I Sew. Thanks.